Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed, so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's happening? What's going on in your life?
Things are good. What is going on in my life?
You're going to London.
I'm going to London.
Foggy London
Yeah,
town.
with Aileen and Sammy. We're going to have a nice little trip.
It's great.
Yeah.
So you guys, when the betches go on a trip together, is it hot gossip? We
do some business.
There's business done.
Yeah,
there's planning.
Sometimes it's nice to get out of our office and really just talk bigger business stuff.
Macro.
Yes.
To someone who's starting a business with friends.
Yeah.
What would you say is a good? Because I could understand the wine starts flowing. Fuck it. Fuck betches. We're gonna hang out.
Well, that's also a part of it though, because it's important when you run a business with friends to also maintain the spirit in which you started the business.
I think that'd be like a great Gary V type tip. This is what people. Right.
It's like
I
a
wouldn't
date
think of
night
that.
for marriage. In some sense, it's kind of like you need a night away from the kids to just remember why you're even here.
Right. What was that got us at Cornell in that dorm room? What got us doing betches love this?
We felt right. How did we fall in love with each other?
fall in love all over again.
No, because it's kind of true. Because this is we say this all the time. Running a business is a lot. It's in some ways it's more intense than a marriage. It's been longer than any of us have been married. There's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of
stakes.
Yeah, there's stakes. You have to, and it's important to maintain a good relation. We've had just like a marriage has its ups and downs. We as friends running a business can get a little testy here and there.
I can't imagine. I mean, I'm a son of a family business, so I understand the dynamic of family and business. My dad was always in family businesses, so I understand that a little bit.
Yeah, and half of it is maintaining that relationship and nurturing that relationship so that, because it's if your parents were always fighting when you were growing up,
right?
The childhood is weird or doesn't run smoothly.
You don't want this office divided into 3 factions, exactly. Right?
The House Abraham,
right?
Yes.
House Abraham fighting with the rest of the houses. Yeah, this is I love that. I came in here. You're like, we're going to London tonight. I was like, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. High tea we got coming up. What else do you do there?
I don't know. I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm about to find out.
You're gonna go right after us. We're gonna warm it up for you.
Please, get that seat warm. Get it ready.
You leave on you leave on Sunday for Dublin.
I leave for Dublin. I'm very excited. I'm that's to go abroad, an American abroad.
It's great because it's Europe. It's far but not too far, and it's so different than here. Mm-hmm. And I feel you're going to so many places. It's going to be amazing.
It's different, and it's a nice break in the year too. Sometimes you get into your, the monotony of it's what month is it?
Especially after a long New York winter.
Right. That's the thing. This time of year is when you get annoyed with weather.
Yes.
Today,
March and April.
Yesterday was cold, and I was like, "Fuck you." I was like, it is so
because
annoying.
it's April 24th. We're recording this on April 25th. Yesterday,
right.
April 24th, you're like, it's enough.
Right, enough already.
Yes.
Every New Yorker turns into a Jewish mom. Just enough.
Well, it's
enough already.
Especially in April, because it's sort of like a tease month where it's we had a couple of days in the mid to high 70s.
The fuckboy of months.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, I can put away the winter jacket. I'm bring out my sandals, and then it becomes the mornings can be 45 degrees again, and you're like, no,
right, and
then
you don't
doing
even,
this shit again.
You don't even have, and here's the other thing, I don't know if people in other parts of the country they don't even have to do this. I think that's why they're so chill in warm weather places. They never walk out and go, just annoyed. But even getting dressed for the day is kind of an important thing. I notice I'm a better person when I get dressed for the day versus when I just roll out of bed and I kind of put something on. Does that make sense? The difference between the two. Yeah. And I had this today. I was like, it's cold, and I had a t-shirt and jeans on. I took a shower, shaved a little bit. I shaved. I did half my beard. But I was like, I'm getting ready to go out. And then I had to put on a windbreaker You know, it's like putting on the jacket on top of your Halloween costume. You're like, oh, this fucking ruined Halloween.
The whole outfit.
Right. Like, I couldn't even be New York chic.
Right.
You know, I had to put on my Adidas windbreaker like fucking child. You know, like, I don't know. That seems small, but I think it, like, the mindset.
Well, better days ahead. This is actually, again, like, it's annoying, but it's also like, can't be more than a few more days of this, right?
We're almost there.
We're almost in May. This doesn't happen in May.
Right. And summer's coming. I think that's kind of on the subject.
I mean, this comes out May 23rd or 24th, depending on if you're a subscriber.
Will be old. But, sorry.
Well, no, I think it's like anyone who's listening at this point will know that those days are behind us.
Well, I would relate this to the first email. Yeah. This is kind of the topic. Like,
that's true.
We're heading into, you know, a couple years ago, we called it like, what were we calling it? The
uncuffing season?
Meeting. No, meeting outside, you know, in person.
IRL summer.
IRL summer.
IRL summer.
In real life summer.
Yes.
Right. And I think we did it 2 summers ago.
Yes.
Was IRL summer because it was like coming out of COVID. And then it was a little premature.
Yeah.
Last summer,
there was some variants lurking.
Right.
Yeah.
Had some sniffles around the corner. Yeah. Last summer felt like an IRL summer.
Oh, yeah.
I would say this, and I posted this a couple weeks ago before leaving for wherever the fuck I was leaving for. But it was a beautiful, like, spring night in New York City. And I was like, wow, it feels like every night's a Thursday when it's a beautiful night in New York City. Like, it feels like everything has that Thursday night energy. And I really think, like, people are out there. Like, the streets are buzzing. Restaurants are happening. Like, you know, I don't want to reference COVID because I think that's, like, it's a little ridiculous at this point. But it does feel like that conversation has ended and we're in new conversations. I think there's a fun summer ahead. No?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like it always seems like, okay, COVID is over. And as of like 1 week ago, I went to the doctor and there were no masks at the doctor's office. And that was the last place I had really seen any sort of mandated mask situation. And last week I went in and they were like, oh, like we got rid of that thing. And I was like, if the doctor's office, if it's off there, it's off.
We are, and it's weird because time is such a weird thing. Like I think we're all dealing with like, how many years ago was that? Wasn't it yesterday? But it feels like 8 years ago. 3 years is a long fucking. It's almost a high school junior. It's going into senior year.
Yeah, it kind of flew. I have to say.
If you thought of it, then I remember. Not to go down memory lane, but I remember 2020.
Let's take a walk.
Take a walk. Join me. So I remember in 2020 when I read an article being like, yeah, it's going to be about 2 years until we're out of this. And I remember thinking, no fucking way. Like, that's crazy. And now 3 years later, it's still something people could talk about.
Yeah.
We're bringing it up here on a podcast. Right. It's still... You know, it's going to be a version of 9/11. You know, I hate to bring up other tragic, you know, things.
Well, almost like a war. It kind of feels like there was like, you know what I mean? Like the way that you would talk, I would imagine that like after World War II, you could be like, well, it's been 3 years since the war. Like it's like when things were more than 9/11 because I think that things have changed were so different in that time period.
Right.
In like 3 years ago. In like a way that it couldn't really even compare to that.
Especially when you bring up the war metaphor, there were sides to everything. Yeah. Right? There was like, who's on what side, who's on, you know, you remember who the people, you know, there's still people talking vaccinations. You know, there's still people, you know, you hear that, especially Twitter, you see that sometimes. And it's like, you know, you remember what side, I think we even said it back then, like, you're never gonna forget who was on what side of what.
That's true. We always remember.
Right. So
I mean, yeah, even people you talk to where it's like everything is a little more chill. You're like, I remember what you
you weren't so chill.
I remember what you did.
I remember you freaking out from a cough. You know, I don't know. So not to go down negative territory lanes, but listen, It's renewal. It's spring. We're here.
Yeah.
We're doing
Go
it.
for it.
And we have our live show.
We do.
We have our live show. It's already happened.
Chicago has already happened. We've got Philly coming up June 15th.
Philadelphia, which we haven't been to in a couple years now. So Philly, get those tickies.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Philly, the people there are wild and nuts and fun. We love that. Come on out. New York, we do our New York show. Always a blast. Boston, always fun. Can't wait. And DC, we're another city we haven't been to in a couple years.
Yeah, DC, it's been a bit. I think 2019. That was 4 years ago.
Right. We used to do all our shows in DC. It felt like.
Right.
It felt like we were always doing You Up Lives in DC. And now we're back. That's right.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. What are we talking about today? I think this is on the subject of spring renewal.
It is, indeed. And, it's like what I like about a year, and especially a year with seasons, not to bring the weather back into this, is that it does feel like there's like a cycle.
Right.
And that's sometimes nice.
It's nice. It's nice to I am a new me, new Monday, new me type of guy, which sometimes is a bad quality. Like sometimes because I'm all on Thursday, I'm like, I'll figure it out on Monday. I kind of push that. Right? But I'm big on that. Like that is like to my core. Monday's like, I don't know, maybe I won't drink ever again. And then Thursday, I'm like, maybe I should drink all the alcohol. So I kind of go on this like...
like Thursday is like life is too short to be like watching drinking or calories.
Right.
And then Monday is like we need to change.
Got to figure this out.
The principles that we live on.
Right. But I would say that like... any chance for a resolution, I think, is a nice thing.
Yeah.
So like, hey, it's spring. Let's get into the dating mix again. Hey, it's winter. Let's wear our comfy cozies and get into a good show. Hey, it's summer. Let's plan something fun. I think that like... yeah,
that's why I like New York. I like the seasons.
Right. I'm with you.
Because, you live somewhere like Miami. No offense. It seems amazing. It's always nice.
I was just down in Boca. I mean... every day is a Friday there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
It's like college.
It's a little collegey, yeah.
In college, every day was Friday.
Every day. Yeah. And Friday was Saturday.
Yeah.
Like you wake up on Friday, I plan my schedule to have no classes.
It's kind of nice, the idea that you could retire and go back to college.
What do you mean? Like go to college later in life?
No, that you could retire and like live a college lifestyle like your parents are living.
My parents are living, summer camp lifestyle.
I want to make enough money that I can live like your parents in retirement.
Listen, the way they live is I wake up and it's always a rush to go somewhere that no one's ever been in a rush to go. We got to go. It's pickleball. It's not,
awesome.
They're rushing to nothing important, which I love.
That's great. That's what I'm saying.
It's great. And people come up to you. The comfortability that elders have to just come up to you and go, hey, and I don't even know them.
Right. What do they give a shit? They're going to die soon.
Yeah, there's no such thing as
YOLO.
awkward anymore. Yeah. Right. Hey. It's like, what? Who are you? Just so familiar right away. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to the non-retirement community.
That's right.
I'll read the first email. Dear J&J, I've been a loyal listener for the last 4 years. Thank you for being constant companions and for all of your kind, funny, and very human commentary on modern dating.
You're welkies.
I am 3 months out of my first real relationship. The first 2 months after I broke up with him, I was running on adrenaline and the empowerment that comes with finally leaving after feeling ambivalent about the relationship for about a year.
Get it, girl.
I spent a ton of time with friends, traveled, cried, went to therapy, and kept myself so busy.
I love
Eat, pray, love.
True eat, pray, love. Traveled, cried, sang a song, did karaoke.
She did it all.
So busy. Okay.
Now, for the last month, I have fallen into a deep depression.
Oh, no.
I'm exhausted, unmotivated, super self-conscious and self-critical, and sometimes feeling absolutely humiliated. This is what my life looks like right now. I'm in that classic 28-year-old space where my summer is full of friends' weddings, and I feel like I've fallen off the track that I wanted to be on, even though I know my ex isn't the right guy for me to be on the track with. So I guess I'm struggling the most with the common advice that I just need to be alone for a while and get through this. My ex is blocked everywhere, and we have not been in contact beyond a few sad exchanges of the things I left behind when I moved out.
Do you want your sweatshirt? I'm sorry.
Toss it.
Yeah, toss the clothes.
I always thought it was insane when my friends got right back on dating apps after a breakup, but now I get it. I feel so lonely, and I miss being a girlfriend. When I'm honest with myself, I'm too emotionally fragile to date again. And frankly, I don't feel attractive at all, so dating sounds like a mess. But I have no clue how to ride this out until I someday will get over this. I feel like I'm in a kind of purgatory between the breakup and moving forward with my life, and I would love to hear your advice for how I can move through this post-breakup mourning/recovery phase after a major relationship. What do I do now? Love, a broken-hearted bitch.
I get what they're coming from. I feel this a little bit sometimes where you're like, what am I doing?
Right.
I especially like, I guess I understand it. I feel them on like a Monday night. I didn't have shows last night. I just like ate dinner and I'm like, I guess I just go to bed.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. I ate dinner and then I was like, I like watched something. I watched the basketball and then I was like,
that's what like almost every single person does on a Monday.
Right. But I guess,
you're not used to it.
Well, I'm not used to it, but I'm also like, I understand where they're like, shouldn't there be someone here?
Right.
Like you do have that thought of like, you just want to be around a breathing body.
Right.
It doesn't matter, and they're kind of singing that tune a little bit where they're like, they don't even like their ex.
They're lonely.
Know they're lonely.
Yeah.
They know their ex isn't the solution to their problem. It's even funny that they're even referencing the ex.
Yeah.
Like you're beyond this guy. They're even talking about an ex as if it's just an amorphous figure. It's not even a person to them. They're just like, they miss
who they were.
Body.
And also she missed being a girlfriend. So maybe she misses who she was in a relationship, which was like,
well, there's purpose.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're moving towards the next thing. Monday night isn't just I'm alone on a Monday. Like
right.
Monday night is another night of us getting to know each other more on our way towards engagement and marriage and baby and suburb.
Right. Well, there's no like clear path, I guess, when you're single. That might be like maybe one of the toughest parts of it because they're kind of like
most fun. Like it's the freeing part too. Like it does have
anything can happen. So
anything can happen, but also nothing's happening.
Right. Nothing could happen. Right. Anything could happen and nothing could happen. Right. And that's like that's the paradox of singledom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I get it. It's like, it's a tough situation to be in. I mean, what do you feel like is good advice for her?
I don't, I listen, you're going to be in funks. My best advice is like, and this is something I fear is to just, because I do understand that idea of like, I miss being a girlfriend. I think a lot of guys would never admit to this, but the way they date is an admission of this. A lot of guys will just like be with women as if they're their girlfriend.
Without actually committing to them. We've heard that before.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's like an admission of like I think women will be like, I like being in a relationship. And guys will be like, oh no, I'd be in a relationship if it was the right thing. And and then they're doing a relationship.
Right.
And so
they want everything. They want to be in a relationship on a Tuesday night, and then on Saturday night they want to not be in a relationship.
Right.
So then that's why they don't put a label on it.
Right. And so I I guess the caution is like, you don't want to just jump in with any breathing body. And I think this is why she's feeling so lonely. And she knows that, I think I feel that I intimately understand what she's saying. Cause you're like, there's a lot of nice people out there. She probably meets nice people all the time. She probably is like, I know I'm not ready because I think I'd jump right in with the next person, even if they weren't the right match for me, just because I'd feel more comfortable.
Lonely, yeah. Well, I mean, she says a couple of things in here which make me think that she isn't ready. She says, I'm too emotionally fragile to date again. And if that's how she's labeling herself, then I have to take her at her word for it. That like, and she said she doesn't like the way she looks. I don't feel attractive at all. So dating sounds like a mess. I think that like, it sounds super cliche to be like, just work on yourself first.
Right.
But if you're not confident going on dates, I don't think you're going to attract the right kinds of people. And if you're not like feeling yourself, so I think like the first step in this is like, what do I need to do? And she knows herself. What do I need to do to like go out on dates and feel like good and confident and excited. And whether that's like, again, doing a little something to make yourself feel like sexier or hotter or better.
Right.
And also kind of getting yourself in a mindset where you also know that like, if the date goes badly, you're going to be fine. Because I also think that's important. Like if you're going on dates and every date feels extremely high pressure, you're going to have a pretty bad time dating.
It's funny that we're on the very similar wavelength. Maybe that's why this podcast works as a show. Because I was like, man, there's no real fun advice for this.
Right.
There's like diet and exercise. Because she kind of got ahead of it by saying, I spent a ton of time with friends, traveled, cried, went to therapy, kept myself so busy. Why does that have to end? Why is that,
right? Why is that
period?
over?
Why is that
Can't
over?
you keep doing that shit?
She's like, goodbye, friends. Time to be lonely in my cocoon. No, I think she needs friends and family. Like, and she's got a plan. I think having, like, especially, that's why, like, this related to the time of year. I'm with you. Like, self-care. Here's a few things, okay? I think, one, let's get some workout classes in.
Yeah.
I ain't saying, I ain't saying this for like, this is mental health. Like,
yeah.
And let's,
you'll feel better about yourself.
I think absolutely. And scheduling it almost makes it like, that's what it is. So
you're on
like,
a path. Well, it's kind of like a way of making that path, right? Because again, we said like, it's kind of tough when you're single to feel like you have no path or you're just kind of, if everything everything feels kind of random, right?
But if Monday's just a Monday where I'm alone. No. Monday, you got to go to bed early because Tuesday, you got Pilates in the morning.
Right.
Get the fucking bed, bitch.
And your plan is to feel great about yourself.
Right.
So that's what you're working towards. Not working towards a relationship, obviously, is like the ultimate goal, but everything is so much easier to do when it's broken down into much smaller steps.
Listen, I have felt so much better the last couple weeks because of Europe coming up.
You got something exciting to look forward to.
I got something on the books.
Yeah.
And I think for her, like, have stuff on the books as far out, even ridiculously. Let's get, what's the beach weekend this summer? What's the, wherever that may be. Like, it doesn't have to be, Saint-Tropez. It can, I wasn't going to go into a Saint-Tropez rant. It could be, Jersey Shore, Montauk, Long Beach, whatever your version of that is,
something
Charleston.
fun, be around people, be social.
And let's make plans with people that you're friends-ish with. I think 28, where are the single ladies, where are the married girls, where are the relationship
ties.
Let's get some loose ties in. Let's
weak ties.
Let's sew together some groups. And listen, I'm just an idea guy. We're saying things that might be harder for her to like take than not. I think a workout class is not, reaching out to a weak tie. That's easier.
Right.
On the list of things. I think what gets in the way, I think what people forget, and it's sitting right in front of you. Like when I go home with my family and I spend time in Boca, I get the cup is filled with good nutrients.
You feel good about yourself.
Feel good about it, but I also like get reminded of what I am looking for in a feeling. I think we forget, like you were just in a 1-year relationship that you knew wasn't for you. That took a long time to realize. She even writes it in her email. It took, it comes with finally leaving after feeling ambivalent about the relationship for about a year. So she was in a serious relationship, had ambivalence to this human being that she probably beat herself up about not liking enough.
Right.
And now, and to me, that was Fritos. That was Doritos. You could eat a bunch of Doritos and then you're hungry.
You're alive. It'll do the job. It'll get you to the next day.
Right. But you're going to be hungry
it's not good.
20 minutes later. And It's not good for you.
Yeah.
Friends and family. And I know this sounds like diet and exercise. This is a hokey type of thing, but you do have that, that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Right.
Be
around people that bring out the best version of you and yourself.
Right. These are this is how I think we forget, especially as single people, how you, like when you're in college and you're around your friends all the time, you're always feeling that thing of like, this is where I'm great. This is where I fit in. This is, this is where I'm looking. That's why I think college relationships like kind of last because you're like, this is where I'm my best self around these people.
Right.
And I'm full from these relationships. I think as you get out of college, there's a community and you're around those people more. Now you're alone more. You're going, well, she keeps references this X is just any human.
What am I looking for?
Right. And I think if she makes plans with the people that she likes hanging out with, nothing owed. Like when you're on a date, there's like, I'm not saying owed, maybe owed's the wrong word, but like when you're on a date, it's like, what are they here for? What am I here for?
Right.
What am I getting out of this? What are they getting out of this? Do they want sex? Do they just need someone to tickle their head? Do I just need someone to be at the table? Do I need the Monday night to be filled just to feel like I'm doing something towards my whatever future?
Yeah.
So I think, workout classes. I'd put mani-pedis in the book weekly.
Of course, yes.
Weekly.
Yes. Groom
Ordered
yourself.
from Dr. Freed.
That's the best. I mean, I always said this, like young single women are like the most well-groomed people.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Well, they're just like taking care of yourself is like because also like you're going on dates, and so you're like you're constantly on it, and it makes you feel good and makes you feel confident. I would add one more thing to that.
Go ahead.
If you have an apartment, I don't know if you live with someone or if you live alone, make it like the best place you could possibly live. I feel like decorate, add something else to it, make it look like a real like haven. I feel like when I was single, and I think like right before I met Mike, I moved into my own apartment and I was like obsessed with it. And it was like the first time I lived alone, and I was just like very focused on making it look like really great and somewhere that I was really excited to come home to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that energy also just like attracts people.
It's
like,
the same thing as getting dressed.
Proud of your home.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally with you. Running clubs, walking clubs. There's now these like clubs, like when I'm out of the West Side Highway, I mean, you see there's these big groups.
Yeah.
Schedule. I think that's the key. Schedule with friends, schedule, that.
Give yourself some purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to London. My friend and his wife, they're coming to London. We're going to do a pub crawl.
It's going to be great.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that. That's part of the, let's fill the cup.
It's going to be great.
With some ale.
Get on it.
Let's do some awkward sex. You ready? This one made me laugh. This was something. I mean, I have a lot of questions.
I hope I can help you answer them.
Thank you. My boyfriend and I have fallen into the sexual malaise of cohabitation. He recently went to his home country for a month, which allowed for the distance makes the heart grow fonder experience. As hoped for, I find myself feeling desire and excitement once again. You got that love and feeling. Oh, that tickle in the vagina.
Something is not quite right.
A few days before his return, I started to notice a rancid smell from my vagina. That might be the most disgusting sentence I've ever read. A rancid smell from my vagina.
That was more than your usual off smell.
I started to notice.
I mean, this gets worse.
A few days before his return, I started to notice a rancid smell from my vagina that was more than your usual off smell. I have to wonder, can I question the usual off smell? When does that come around?
Maybe if you like, I don't really know exactly.
I've been taught not to notice anything about a smell of a vagina.
I guess maybe if you like worked out and like hadn't showered right away.
But it'd be similar to like an armpit.
Yeah, right. Maybe that would be like that, I think. I don't, as far as like personal, I think that's what the extent of what you would smell.
Okay. Even my outer clothes took on the putrid scent.
That's weird.
That's a smell.
Red flag.
This wasn't your usual off smell. This was aggressive. A friend even noticed while on a hike and told me that she keeps getting whiffs of dog urine. Okay. Can you imagine you're on a hike Do you smell that? No. It's not my vagina.
Oh my God.
This was said from 3 feet away. I even went to a dance. Okay. I even went to a dance class. I'm not going to dance class. I got to get this figured out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe she can't smell it because it's on her body. So she's
Right.
like, I guess, because she hasn't said that. I guess she says, I noticed a rancid smell, but maybe she got used to it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I even went to a dance class where I noticed people gravitating to the opposite side of the room and making sideways glances at me. I left early. That's probably, I wouldn't have left early. Oh, the smell is gone once that woman left.
Everyone is dancing on the other. Why is everyone dancing on the left side of the room? I'm the only one dancing here.
She's doing jazzercise. They're like, okay, we're going to do splits. No!
Oh my God.
I tried everything. Creams, suppositories, vaginal probiotics, douches with no success. An OBGYN appointment was made, but the first available wasn't for a week after my boyfriend's return.
Girl,
I'm getting older. What?
Find a different doctor.
I mean, you got to go somewhere.
She's like, well, their next appointment was in 3 months. So
Get the handy person to come and clean the apartment and go, hey, check out downstairs.
urgent care. Urgent care.
I'm getting older, so I just thought maybe this is the new
the new normal. How old was she getting? Dead?
I mean, you're decaying. I guess this is how vaginas smell at 30. The day of my boyfriend's return, I tripled up on hygiene practices and prepared myself for this long-awaited return. I greeted him at the door and we headed for the bed. We started to hook up and he mentions the smell of musk.
Ugh.
What a polite boyfriend.
Yes, you seem sweet.
He smelled his armpits and around the bed in efforts to figure out the smell. That's got to be weird. You think it's the side table? No, it's not over here. Like he's doing like a...
I guess I would do the same. I'm trying to think if I would do the same thing. I'd be like, because you'd kind of like, all right, let's figure it out.
Oh, of course. I'd start smelling everywhere.
Right.
It's not over here. Like,
what do you think it is?
Right. If I knew it was me, there's no way I'm giving myself up. I'm going to the grave. I greeted. He smelled his armpits and around the bed in efforts to figure out the smell. I see him realize it's my vagina, but so as not to embarrass me, he takes the fall. He says, oh, it's me, he mumbles. Half-heartedly, what a nice guy. Good for him. Half-heartedly, I guess what was he supposed to say? It's you! Your pussy stinks. Yeah, what's he say? I guess, yeah, that's the move. Half-heartedly, we finished the deed while the smell of dead carcass was secreted with each penetration. The next day, he commented that he smelled cheese on my clothes and sniffed around until he realized it was wafting from my steamy, smelly crotch. This person really paints a picture.
I mean, I guess pro for the self-awareness.
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, it sucks. Later that night, I went to put in a vaginal probiotic and felt something graze the tip of my finger. I froze, stunned, my stomach dropped. Shock, horror. It was a small dead rat. No, I'm kidding.
It was not. It was not.
I pushed a little and realized it was a tampon. I did the math. This was from days shy of 1 month ago.
Oh, my God.
I ran to the bathroom, pushed hard while wrestling myself to get it out. Thankfully, I was able to retrieve the hardened tampon in the absence of involving the ER or my boyfriend. I was so horrified by its appearance that I just threw it away immediately. I sheepishly came out of the bathroom and came clean, both literally and figuratively. I then slept the best sleep of my life, knowing I was finally free from the haunting odor. Distance makes the vagina grow foul. It's a great sign.
That's a great sign. The alternate is also great.
Expired box. Love it. She wrote those, not us. But
this is terrifying.
Isn't that like bad for you?
I would say it is. If you leave a tampon in too long, you can get toxic shock syndrome.
What is that?
That's something they would always scare the shit out of you
Right.
with when you were like 12 years old about like making sure you change your tampon. I guess it can happen if you leave a tampon too long. It like shocks your body and you could like
A
get,
month?
Like,
I mean,
usually it's like more than, that's what I'm saying. Usually in the warnings, it says it on the side of the tampon box, like more than 8 hours. So,
oh my God. I mean, the way she describes it here, I imagine her pulling like a hardened old piece of
I've
penne
never
pasta out of herself.
I've heard of people getting like tampons getting stuck inside you, but not for a month. Usually your body will like expel it before that. Like it'll just come out.
Her
'Cause it
body
can't
was trying to tell her something.
Yeah, the smell. I mean, I would have gone, if I were her, I would have gone to an urgent care like earlier.
I would have gone after just to make sure. Like I wouldn't have gone, oh, I guess it's out now, nighty night. Like I would have been still scared.
That there wasn't another one in there.
Right. What else is in there? Fucking, a rodent?
I mean,
it's crazy. I mean, good for
you put some mints in there.
Something. I had to be spraying.
Yeah. That's scary. I didn't know that it could stay in there for almost a month. I really thought your body would push it out before then.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I'm surprised way out of my wheelhouse.
She let it go that long before actually getting it checked out. All that vaginal suppository bullshit, like none of that does anything. If your body is normal, is like healthy, then it's not gonna. You don't need that.
You ever been able to smell a friend's vagina?
No,
never. I mean, the friend was 3 feet away on the hike.
No, that's disgusting.
The thing is, as a guy,
if I had a smell, I would go to a doctor just to see what the smell was.
Right.
I don't.
If my penis smelled like that, you would go to a doctor. I would, but I would also be scared to go to the doctor. I would be like, I think a lot of.
Well, you can't get anything stuck in the penis.
Listen, you could, hypothetically.
I guess. You're not like putting things in there.
No, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, there is a hole.
Right. I guess so.
So, I don't know. Not accidentally, it would be very hard. That's a hole in one.
Yeah.
No, but a smelly peen. I've had smelly balls.
Right. That makes sense.
That would be the smelliest my balls have ever been.
Let's hear it.
I don't want to make the audience too wet.
Okay, let's hear it.
After a flight, like, and then you sweaty flight, cross country, and then you can smell it from up top a little bit, but then if you touch your balls, you're like, oh, this is bad. Like, I wouldn't put a human being through this.
Okay.
Balls can smell.
After a long flight?
Well, because look at the skin, the makeup of the skin of the balls. It's not, it's
rubbing against.
But it's like a wet towel almost.
Yeah.
Scrunched together.
Hot.
Yeah.
Has anyone have you ever heard of any guy having a woman tell them that their balls smell? Or
I had to have been told my balls smell by some woman. I'm assuming.
I feel like there was like a guy where there was like a rumor that he had a stinky dick at some point.
Stinky dick.
Stinky dick. Yeah.
Great nickname. Stinky dick.
For everyone else, not for him.
I don't want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be known by that.
Stinky.
I've said, you're taught to be the vagina smell thing.
Do they have a smell? Do some have different smells than others?
Listen,
in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Different smell than others.
Are there bad smells and good smells?
Just different. I mean,
does it ever smell great?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have been in scenarios where you go, okay, something's afoot.
Oh yeah.
This might be a foot. No,
Something smells off.
Something smells off, and you go. But I think what you're drilled into when you're trying to be a polite man,
right?
And I'm not saying all men are polite. When you're trying to be you understand from a young age that like the vagina smell thing is a hacky, immature thing to say to someone, or to even reference.
But that's it can smell bad.
What's that?
But it can smell bad.
It can, but I also think men have fucked themselves because we made all these jokes in middle school and high school, and then you're like with a lady, so when you're in a relationship with them, they're like, I was just at the gym, and you're like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't think we care as much as maybe
that's why
we made the joke.
They sell all that shit that doesn't do anything to make women think that their vaginas aren't supposed to smell a certain way.
Right, because it was the easy joke to make as a middle school boy.
Right.
Vagina smell.
But your vagina is a self-cleaning organ. It doesn't need any of that other shit that they sell you.
Right. I get
unless it's like this. But I'm saying even all that stuff didn't even work for her.
Right.
Just take the tampon out. Just make sure.
I've never gone down on someone like, woo! What's going on down here? You know,
Right.
like
that would be poor form.
Poor form. But I've also never not, like, it's different, not bad.
Has it ever smelled good?
Oh, there's some tasty vagina out there.
Smells good.
Yeah, I mean, like, smells like fresh.
Okay. Like recently showered.
Right, yeah. Like, there's a fresh vagina.
Okay.
Listen, I got fresh
Straight
balls.
out the oven.
Straight out. Listen, I know when my balls are fresh.
Fair?
When I come out and I do the towel under, when I dry off and I do the towel under the.
They're ready to go?
Yeah. You
Under the scrotum?
ever do that move when you dry
I
off?
don't think women do that.
You take the towel and you put it under your crotch and you rub back and forth.
No, we don't do that.
No.
No.
It's a fun move.
That sounds like a good way to get a UTI.
Red flag deal. Red flag deal breaker. He has smelly balls.
How smelly are they?
They fucking stink. It's like a wet sock.
It's the first time we sleep together?
First time you sleep together, they smell so bad that you can smell them from away from his balls. Do you give him another chance?
I think I have to say something.
After the first time.
If they smell that bad?
He's got smelly enough balls where you open the sheets and a gust comes out from under the covers. Something smells off.
I think you got to say something.
What would you say? Your
Do you
balls
smell
stink?
that?
Do you smell that?
Yeah.
And then
Do
he
you
goes,
smell
no.
And then I would have to say something smells under the
What
covers.
smells?
What could it be?
I don't know.
What do I say? What about this situation?
I'd give him another
There's
chance.
a rancid smell.
A rancid smell. I'm coming back to the restaurant to see if they fixed the kitchen.
Also, if they had sex, I assume he must have pushed it even further in there.
Right. I mean,
right?
The tampon thing is just like, it's an anomaly. You know, this is obviously not something that happens every day to her.
I mean, when on birth control, I was on the NuvaRing, which is something you put up there that stays up there for 3 weeks. But I don't think it has this. Maybe it's because it's not cotton.
No, right. The cotton.
Right. It's probably
is
what
absorbing
creates
all the blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak.
Yeah, not.
Did you have a name for this?
I called it toxic fuck syndrome.
I like that. Maddie had Fanny Fossil, Kombucha Cooch, Long Last Tampon. I had Rotten Cotton.
There you go.
The Decaying Elder Woman.
Ugh.
Ooh, that smell. You know that song?
No.
Ooh, that smell. Do you guys know that song? It's an oldie.
Very popular. Little niche for us.
Whoever smelt it has an old tampon in their vagina.
That's a good one. Love it.
Dead vaginimal.
Okay.
Front butt.
No.
No. Okay. Okay, how about this one? Is someone making soup?
Ew. At least she knows she's not pregnant.
No, thank God. I mean, at least he knows.
Yeah.
And here's my last one. Vagina.
Vagina. Okay.
Like it's a vagina.
I like it, yeah.
You know.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
Vagina. This was gross.
This
Thanks
was gross,
for writing
but
it
fun.
in.
It was a great email. Keep sending your awkward
And
sex.
A good PSA to anyone listening: if you have an odor, don't buy any of that unnecessary shit. Just go to a doctor or try to get it.
You
could also try to get it yourself. You could put your finger in there and just try to get it yourself. And if you can't, if you don't feel anything in there, go to a doctor.
Call your super. He'll come up and grab it out of there.
Not unless he wants a lawsuit.
Right.
No, urgent care. Urgent care.
What's going on up here? The bathroom's broken? No, there's something stuck in my vagina.
Walk-in clinic. If you notice people are dancing on the other side of the room, then you.
I once went to a gym class. I go to these, like, you go to the workout classes.
Yeah.
There was one teacher who was like hilarious, but like some people really didn't like what he would do. Like he was like so funny to me. But there was one class where he would go to one side of the room and be like, "Oh, it stinks over here." And I was like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kept being like, "Thank God it's not my side of the room." Like,
I remember a middle school teacher that I had, like a math teacher. She started the class once and she was like, I just need to say, you guys really need to put on deodorant. Like,
that has to be a thing,
we're like
though.
13
Right.
or like 12, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Because some people are not sure that they're at that stage. Because it's kind of like you don't wear deodorant when you're like 5. Like,
No. I feel for those teachers because you have to have the most uncomfortable conversations that maybe the parents are like opting out
right.
of. Like,
I guess she just got through it by making the general announcement to the class.
Right. Hey, everybody.
I don't know who needs to hear this.
If I was a deodorant company, I would just like put out free samples at the school.
Yeah.
Like, get them early.
We used to have a condom, like a bowl of condoms in the health room class. They should do that with deodorant.
Yeah. Just put it out.
Yeah.
Little tiny ones, the little travel ones.
Good idea.
The marketing department.
Yeah, for high school health ed.
Right. Let's do another email. You ready?
I'm ready. All right. Hi, J&J. I'm a huge fan of the pod. I'm excited to be writing in for the first time.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. My question may fall into the territory for DST, but I'd love to get your take on it. My long-term boyfriend started residency about 2 years ago. It's a high-pressure job with extremely long hours, and he's no longer able to make it to the gym as often as he'd like. As a result, he's put on a bit of weight, nothing major, maybe 20 pounds. And he's always struggled with his body image, and this has really bothered him. I've continued to tell him I think he looks incredible, but he constantly calls himself fat and asks me frequently whether or not I think he's gained weight. I originally tried denying it because I was worried saying he has gained weight would hurt his feelings, and I've also tried letting him know that while his body may look a little different, he still looks great, and I'm extremely attracted to him. Neither have seemed to be helpful. He has suggested we go to the gym together since he thinks it will help motivate him, and even though I don't like exercising, I've agreed. But every time I ask if he wants to go, I'm turned down. His self-esteem has taken a huge hit over the past 2 years due to his weight gain, and admittedly, I miss the confidence he used to have. I love him so much, and I'm incredibly proud of how hard he worked to excel in his program, but we still have 3 years of residency ahead of us, and I'm so worried about the negative impact this is having on him. It has basically become a compulsion, with him bringing it up several times every single day and often telling me he doesn't even recognize himself. I've never struggled with body image, and I don't know what would be genuinely helpful versus patronizing, and my efforts so far have not made a difference. Any suggestions you have would be so incredibly appreciated. Worried about the Weight Watcher.
Tough one.
Yes.
I mean, like, I don't know what advice we can give. I can empathize. Listen, I have my own weight problems and my own body issues, and this is something I've dealt with: weight gain, weight loss, the whole, thing.
Right.
I understand how this guy feels. I also understand how it can be a turnoff.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when someone is making either direction, that someone is constantly making self-deprecating comments about themselves, because not only are you kind of like, well, what am I supposed to say to that?
Right.
Like, how many times, I'm sure even for the woman who's like, I look gross, and you're like, you look beautiful. How many times can you say that before you're
like, yeah, you are gross. Right. Like, I don't know. Well, there's a point where you gotta,
one time, right? If someone says that one time, you're like fine to like uplift them. But if they're saying it every day, you're kind of like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I mean, that's with any problem.
Yeah.
That keeps coming up.
Any problem. Yeah.
Any problem, you go, here, like, I hate my job. Okay. Well, we can start reaching out to, people, some contacts, and what are we looking to do, and what's the next step? And usually they're just saying, I hate my job, to tell you they hate their job. And you go,
and that's fine every now and then to vent. But if it's every day, and I mean, I'll use a little more benign, this is obviously a very loaded question because it's about weight and body image. And I think that runs a lot deeper. But I remember like Mike there was a time period where he was like, my back is really hurting me. My back is really, I'm like, let's make an appointment with a chiropractor. And he'd be like, okay. And then he wouldn't do it. And then he'd be like, my back is really hurting. My back is, and then finally I said, listen, I either need you to like make the appointment with the chiropractor or suffer silently.
Right.
Because we can either try to fix it or we can live with it and not make it everyone's problem. But if you're not, I don't want to hear you complain unless we're doing something about it.
Right. Because now you feel guilty. Because
every
time
what am I supposed to do?
Every time it's said to you, my back hurts, and you have no solution for them, you feel like you failed too.
Yeah.
And you go, this isn't fun. I'm looking. And again, no one wants someone's back to hurt, but you want to like, let's fucking do something.
Let's do something about it. Or again, if I'm also fine. Some people don't like to do to go to the doctor or do anything, but then shut up. Like, then suffer silently.
Right.
So I think it's kind of like, and again, I think the weight thing is a little bit tougher of an issue because there's so much more. If your back hurts, no one thinks of that as like a personal pride thing, I think mostly, or it's not a feeling of your self-confidence or your self-esteem. And I think weight is so much more intensely tied into that. And if I were her, I would ask him, I would say like, it seems like this is something that's really bothering you. What do you feel like is the best way that I can help you in this situation? Like, what do you want from me? I don't want to sound patronizing by telling you look great if you don't look great. Cause that, for me, that's also kind of annoying when I know I look like shit and the person's like, you look great.
Right.
Where you're like, that's almost more annoying.
And also, I don't want to keep defending that I'm attracted to you.
Right.
Like, I'm here because I like you.
Yeah. I love you no matter what size you are.
Right.
I want you to be happy. I want you to be confident. What do you need from me to get there? Because whatever we're doing is clearly not working. You seem really upset with your body and your self-esteem. And I just want to help you feel better about yourself. So you tell me what's the best way that I can support you.
Right. I think also, here, a couple things. The residency thing fucking sucks because their schedules keep changing, I would assume.
Right. You don't have that much time.
You don't have time. And also, when you go to bed and when you wake up changes every day. That's the hardest part about being healthy for me. You know, when I doing comedy last night, I had on the road, wake up at 4 a.m. for your flight, show at 8 p.m., done at 11. And then the next morning you can wake up at 10 and then you can go to bed at 2 in the morning and then you got to wake up at 5 in the morning. Consistency is the key to life, you know, and he is in a inconsistent place. And the idea of like, let's work out together, that ain't helping.
He suggested that.
It's a stupid idea. It ain't going to work. I can tell him right now. You can't. The one thing I am not a health professional, but the one thing you always hear, you can't outrun a bad diet. So much of this is just, I like.
Well, he's probably stressed because of the program and he's probably just eating, whatever he can.
And he's up later.
Yeah.
He's off schedule. So I think, to me, there's an option of like, we're going to like plan our fun meals and then we're going to cook, for everything else.
Yeah.
Like, that's and that's something you can do together. Like going to the gym together, like never gonna fucking work because
you go to the gym together every time you're gonna go to the gym.
Right. Getting yourself to the gyms. If I was to give any suggestion, like I understand this is advice I give to myself. I needed consistency. Like I went to Alex Turoff, who's a fan of this show, but is a nutritionist, dietitian, whatever you fucking call him. Not to,
whatever they want to be called.
But I love Alex and she's Alex _ Turoff with an I, Alex with an I. That's what on Instagram. But what I like about Alex is I was like, I have this inconsistent life. And she was like, and here's one thing that she gave to me that I do all the time now is when I would go to the Delta Sky Club before I fly, I love a breakfast. Like I could eat breakfast all fucking day. Like I could go in there and take a scoop of the potatoes and the bacon and the eggs and I could have 7 plates.
Right.
It would be with no ending. Like a dog. And she was like, I was like, give me the breakfast that I need to have every morning. And she gave me like, she goes, here's the calorie amount. This will make you full. This will make, the breakfast was 2 hard-boiled eggs with a 3rd egg, just the egg white.
For anyone who's looking for the free diet.
Right. Yeah. But this offered me something I didn't have to think about anymore.
Right.
Well, so maybe for him, I think the answer might be talking to someone and being like, I need to get food out of my mind because I'm on this inconsistent schedule.
But it sounds like you're at a place that he's not even at yet. Like
right.
You have to be like,
you have to want the help.
You've got to be like ready to do something about it. And I think probably because he's in a relationship, maybe he feels like less motivated to do that. But he's still, because I think there's this false sense of fucking. Like, well, I mean, there's to an extent, there's like, and you're doing shows, you perform. Right. There's like the motivation in that. And I think it can be kind of tough when you're like, I don't want to have to try. And I think it's getting over that place of like, I feel like there's like a sweet spot with feeling bad about something where you're motivated to do something versus just feeling shitty about it. And you have to get to that point maybe on your own.
And it's hard.
It's hard to be with that person because if they haven't reached that point yet, because they're just complaining and they're not doing anything about it.
Right. I mean, I had that with like alcohol, recently, where I'd be like stopping off at a bar on my way home and having like a few drinks and then like going home. And then waking up and being like, what the fuck? Like if I had someone to complain to about it, I would have complained to them about it.
Right.
I would have been like, why do I could have just went home, and then I would have said, and I kept, complaining with myself. I'm like, and then I would have this weird.
But eventually you get tired of listening to you, I'm sure.
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, stop it, you fucking idiot. Go home. And now someone sees me walking by, the Spaniard on a Thursday night, just yelling at myself, go home. So you have to get to that point.
Well,
You're
that's
right.
what I'm saying. Like, that's why she needs to ask him, like, what do you want? What do you want from me? Like, what would be the most helpful thing from me to you? And no one knows how they like to be motivated besides themselves. Like, I think she could say, like, you seem like you're talking about this a lot. You seem to be really unhappy with how you look and your confidence. And I don't feel that way, just obviously, so But if you feel that way, I feel bad that you're feeling that way. So how can I help you not feel that way anymore?
I agree with that. Here's another thing, and I know this is what you're saying is absolutely right. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
She said this happened in the last 2 years. Here's the problem with gaining weight. You still are stuck on these old clothes that you used to fit into that you're still trying to make work.
Okay.
And nothing feels worse than clothes that don't fit.
It's a constant reminder that
a reminder.
Of you used to be.
It's a failure.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe this guy needs some new scrubs. Black on black.
Take him shopping.
Slimming. Let's go shopping. I think like this happens to me a lot where I'm like, the minute I get a t-shirt that fits, I'm like, I don't gotta lose weight. I feel good. I feel if you like how you look and feel, I think that's part of it too.
Well, I think that's a good question for him. It's like, I think you look great now. I thought you looked great before. I still think you look great. Like, I don't think what is your motivation for, like, why don't you feel like you look good? And if I think, again, you have to be ready to accept your new weight to go buy clothes and be in those clothes, right? Or can you do that and think that you're going to lose it?
Sometimes it's just like, this is also like, maybe this is the body he's supposed to have while being a doctor. You're not always like, he's in residency. So let's say
he's in his 6-pack era.
Right. I mean, what did I say to you the other day? Like my fitness goals are pretty simple. Right. Fit in a t-shirt without stretching it out.
Slightly above average.
Yeah, I just want to be fucking fine. I just want to like have a picture come back and go, oh, I like that picture.
Right.
Without me having to like, pose in 7 million different directions. So, I think as you get older, the things change, and maybe I've had this where I'm like, you're like, well, when this shirt fits again, I got to get to the point where this shirt fits again. Maybe that shirt ain't fitting again. Maybe it's over for you in that shirt.
And she can give him the confidence.
Right. And like for me, it's always like searching for new t-shirts that fit me well. Like that's always been a problem for me. When I got these t-shirts and what I'm wearing now, I'm very happy in this t-shirt.
Looks great.
Thank you. It was a little fishing. Waiting on Maddie and Jorge. Okay, thank you. Nothing from the peanut gallery. Yeah.
Team.
But when I find a t-shirt that fits, I'm like, great.
Right.
This is,
I think maybe gift him a new t-shirt.
Right. And let's throw away the old clothes. Get rid of them.
But again, I think start with just a conversation.
You're right. That is the answer. But these are all things these are all strategies after he gives his answer. Well, I put on these clothes and they feel like shit. All right, new scrubs.
Right. Yeah.
Cut the shit. Give them up. You're never fitting in those again. Let's play some games. Faux pas or not? Let's get into Faux Pas or Not, presented by Faux Pas Can Cocktails. Every single Faux Pas can is based on a tried and true cocktail. Vodka soda, marg, tequila soda, mule. You can't go wrong. And it goes without saying on this show that we're into keeping it real, which is why there's only real vodka or real Blanco tequila and no artificial flavors or gluten in these drinks. Now let's keep it real with some Faux Pas or Not. I am holding the grapefruit and orange tequila soda.
That is my second favorite flavor. This one is my first, the spicy mango marg. It's the perfect, we're just talking about how it's about to be summer.
Right.
It's faux pas season.
It's faux pas season. This over ice.
Perfect.
Ooh. I had one in Boca.
They're great, right? We're in Florida.
Delish.
Check it out at your local liquor store.
Okay.
Let me read the first one.
I'll read the first one. Long-time listener, first time writing in backstory. I went on a second date with a guy to an NBA game. During the game, we had just a couple of drinks each, and we went to the bathroom no less than 5 times.
He went to the bathroom.
Oh, and he went to the
that makes it a different story.
Right. We had a couple of drinks each, and he went to the bathroom no less than 5 times. After the game, before we left the arena, he went to the bathroom again. We were now heading back towards the bar. We had been walking for about 15 minutes, and we were less than 5 minutes from the bar. He had to pee again, and instead of just waiting to get to the bar, he ran over to the side of a building and peed on the wall. Mind you, we were downtown in a big city with a lot of people walking around, and we were right on a busy street with many cars stopped in traffic. He was doing this right out in the open where anyone could see. I was mortified and walked away as far as I could so people didn't know I was with them, LOL.
It was great.
He got up to me and told me I was incredibly... And I told him I was incredibly embarrassed and decided to just go home. He literally could have been arrested. I'm not sure if he had some kind of medical condition after having to go to the bathroom so many times, but to just not wait a few minutes to go to the bar was insane to me and was absolute deal breaker. Sincerely, to pee or not to pee. So what do you think, faux pas or nah?
I think if he said, I have a medical condition,
right,
or said something that would explain why he couldn't wait after having gone before, if he explained himself and seemed a little embarrassed about it, then it would be just a faux pas.
Okay.
But the fact that he doesn't, as far as the emailer wrote, he's not saying anything. I think that makes it, again, the bathroom during the date, he doesn't have to explain himself. Fine. Go to the bathroom as much as you want. Once you start peeing on the side of the street, I think you owe someone a little bit of an explanation.
We couldn't be farther away on this one.
Really?
First of all, the amount of times you went to the bathroom, once you break the seal, if I had 2 big waters during
5
the day
times.
and then I'm drinking beers at night at the game.
Fine.
Listen, however many times someone goes to the bathroom,
Go
I am not here to judge.
as many times as you want.
Go
Fine.
to the bathroom. Go get it done. I'm not here to judge. I don't know what you ate that day, what you have drank that day. Things happen. I am a bathroom guy.
That's why I said, fine, go as many times as you want.
That has no here nor there to this conversation. You're on the way home. You pull off to the side. You pee on a wall. Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
No, not acceptable.
Again, this is a very male thing. I don't think there's the understanding.
I've never been with a guy who's had to pee on the street before.
Outside?
No.
Against the side of a building?
We're not on a 2-hour walk?
If he's got to go, and again, the 5 times I guess does add into this because
Wouldn't you say something? If you want
he's
to
got
date,
a small bladder. He's good. This guy goes a lot. It is an emergency.
If you were on a date and you're walking to the next bar and then you pee on the side of the street, wouldn't you say something?
Well, I guess the say something is oh, I'm so sorry, I gotta go. This is an emergency. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
But I mean, beyond that, what else is he supposed to say?
To
me, it is a nah for her for leaving.
Okay.
To me, this guy's a solution-based guy. Don't you want to be married to someone like this?
No.
You got the kid. What are you going to do? We'll figure it out. No more diapers. This guy's wrapping the kid in a t-shirt.
No.
This is MacGyver.
This is weird.
This is survival.
You can't just be peeing on the side of the street all the time.
I'm an outdoor
I would be
peer.
embarrassed.
You'd be embarrassed. You would go home like her.
Maybe.
Wow.
On the side of the street?
It's behind a building. I think it's less in public than she is.
5 minutes from the bar.
He's got to go.
Come on.
Here's another.
He'd have to say, I have a medical condition.
Pants?
If he said, I have a medical condition, it's fine. If he's not saying anything, I'm like, don't be an animal.
We are animals.
Okay, same situation. The woman's taking a shit on the side of the street.
I'm a little turned on. If I'm going to be honest, I'm like, holy fuck. I think it's a green flag. Someone gets their shit done.
No. Okay.
Get out there.
All right. This is our first major disagreement.
This is a major disagreement. To me, it's just a faux pas.
Oh, sorry. It's a
and
nah.
It's a nah.
Yeah. If there's no explanation, then
mine's
it's a nah.
A nah to her. Little too fancy for me. I gotta be. You're going to run away from me? You're going home? This is what turned you off?
This is crazy.
She is crazy.
No, he is crazy.
She is.
All right. Well,
she should be a little bit more understanding.
Well,
Here's the alternative. What if he peed his pants? What
Let's-
if he peed his pants and she
was
goes, "What
embarrassed?
the hell happened to your pants?" And he goes, "I didn't want to pee outside because I'm not an animal, so I just went."
Then it would be better. I'd be like, he has a little shame. It's fine.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Maddie, please make sure we poll the audience on this one. Because I think that I'm going to be I think I'm going to get more votes.
I think you will too, but I'm just saying.
What do you guys think?
I would be very taken aback by that. With zero explanation, I would be very...
Okay, hold on. He comes back and he goes, "I'm sorry I had to go so bad." That's the only explanation.
That's not enough.
That's not enough?
I need a pre-warning.
Yeah.
Before you, whip your dick out to pee on a date.
That's a good point, too.
How about, pre-warning, he goes, "Hey."
Can't whip out your penis without a pre-warning on the first date.
You need
Yes.
Need consent.
No one's
you're
zipping.
walking down the street and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. I'm gonna go down this alley."
That's different.
Oh, okay.
That's different. Agreed.
So that's fine.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. This is really embarrassing. Have a little shame.
So that brings me more towards your side.
Jorge, what do you think?
Jorge.
I think going to the bathroom so many times is a little weird, but acceptable. I do think going out in the street is a bit of a...
Weird.
He didn't go in the middle of the street. He wasn't like...
It's away from the bar.
Again, or if you can't wait, you need to show a little bit of shame. You need to be ashamed. Be ashamed.
I don't
That's all I'm asking for.
Can't believe this whole podcast is turned on me.
Have you done this, Jared?
I pee everywhere.
On a first date?
On a first
walk
date,
to the bar?
But I wouldn't just disappear, run into the woods. I would say, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got to pee so bad. I'm so sorry."
All right. Well, I guess now we know. We'll see on tour if you just pee right on stage.
Right. I guess this is.
I'm sorry.
This is why my balls smell. Too much peeing everywhere.
All right. I'll do the next
This
one.
wasn't a good episode for my summer.
It's a big hygiene
fuck tour.
episode. We got the tampon, peeing outside. Our etiquette post would have a writer's disagreement on that.
Right. This
for
would be
our
a whole
etiquette book.
chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, for those that think I just
To pee or not to pee?
To pee. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to wait for the ball. For those that think that I'm sitting here not telling the truth, I don't come on this show to make myself look good. I'm just telling you.
Now I know.
This is my truth.
Okay. Anyone now who dates you will know that this is is a possibility.
Sometimes, we used to take, before practice, we'd take a knee and pee behind the knee.
Now I know why you don't go to Central Park.
Can't be too far from a bathroom.
Hi, Jared and Jordana. I know AI is all the rage these days, but what about using ChatGPT to write text to your dating app matches? I got the attached text from a guy I'd been talking to and pretty immediately recognized it as something no non-robot person would say. It's so cringe. Please read it out loud. I called him out and he admitted to writing it with ChatGPT.
Should I read it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is him texting her.
Yes.
After he fed what he'd like to say to ChatGPT. Feels like Mother Nature just cranked up the thermostat. Fire emoji. Maybe the weather decided to skip the warm-up and jump straight into hot mode. It's time to break out the sunscreen and ice cream. Sunglasses emoji, ice cream emoji.
She goes, what do you think? I was out personally, both in terms of using ChatGPT versus being genuine and because this guy actually thought this was a normal text to send. Excited to hear your take. This sounds like something you would hear on the Weather Channel.
Right.
Like this sounded like a weather, like a meteorologist.
Right.
Like it's exactly feels like the Mother
Scripted.
Nature just cranked up the thermostat.
Right. Thermostat.
Very weird.
Get out the sunscreen and the ice cream.
Yeah, this is it's a cringy text.
It's a cringy text.
I wouldn't have
The emojis don't help at all.
Without knowing the guy, I would have just assumed it was like he was just a weirdo.
Right. I don't think the fact that her mind went straight to ChatGPT is like I didn't. I'd just be like, is there something wrong with this person?
I would also say, like, if you can't write a normal text, it's so hot out today.
Listen.
Like, let's just be normal.
To me, this is the same This is if they're willing to lie about this, they're willing to lie about anything.
Right. I mean, this really feeds your dorks on the app take.
This guy's a fucking nerd. No, no. If you're putting ChatGPT to write to
a normal
women,
text, yeah,
just say it's hot out.
Just be normal,
right? Just I don't know. It's to me, if they're willing to like, what else would they put into? Where else are they not going to be them and do whatever makes them look like a better? Because in his mind, he's like, I need to look like a better version of me.
Yeah,
I don't want to be me. I want to be the me she wants to fuck.
If he thinks that's an even big. I agree. The bigger issue is almost that he saw this. Like I can understand spitting. Let's just see what it says. And then he saw it and he was like, "Yeah, this looks good."
Yeah. The third said, never would have thought of that one.
That's the real deal breaker is that he saw what ChatGPT gave him and he was like, "Okay, this seems normal."
Thanks, C-3PO.
Nah, I'm out.
Nah.
You want to do the last one?
I'll do the last one. I matched with a guy on Hinge, and his opener was a set of 4 voice notes that frankly dragged on. He explains that all his voice notes are quote unquote live, not rehearsed. He then goes through my profile and tells me what he likes about it. He ends each voice note by saying, "I'll catch you on the next one." Oh, there's more voice notes coming. What do you think about the voice? I like the voice note feature as far as like a compliment to the written part. Like, hey, this is a longer story than I want to, that this would be more fun to say than write. But it's got a compliment. It can't just be.
I don't need a red line of my dating app bio. Like she said, he's commenting on like, he's reacting to every single part of the profile.
Right. Well, that's the most annoying part. The most annoying part to me about this is actually smaller than what they're writing in about. The fact that he says his voice notes are live and takes a lot of pride in that. Yeah. This is just me riffing here. This is me. I'm being live. It's like, no, don't take too much pride that you could speak.
Yeah, this is weird.
There's an elevation that is annoying to me. Yeah.
I think one voice note saying something short and funny is fine. 4 voice notes, no. I don't need someone going through the whole profile. Like this isn't like
no. I don't need the dating app makeover from some random dude. And it's live.
I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Hey, and this is live. This is just how I talk.
Right. I didn't script this at all.
Right. This is off the cuff. This is just Jared being Jared. Yeah. Fuck off. Nah.
Okay. We're really not into any of these today, except when you are.
The losers are out.
Yeah. Well, the biggest faux pas you can make, not having faux pas stocked and ready to go for your next girls' night or date night in. As we've said, we love these tequila faux pas tequila-based faux pas. We have the tequila soda. We've got the spicy mango mark. They're perfect for that Memorial Day pool party or beach day coming up.
If you like Fresca, I mean, I used to, growing up, make vodka Fresca.
Oh, yeah, that's delicious. It's very much in the vein of our vodka soda, the lemon and mint.
All of this is just delicious. The grapefruit orange tequila is very Fresca-y.
They're so delicious. So go to any liquor store that's by you. If they don't have it, you can ask for it or check it out on Drizzly. Visit www.fauxpascocktails.com to find your favorite faux pas near you. That's FAUXPAS, and follow @DrinkFauxPas on Insta so you don't miss out on any of the tequila. Okay.
Well, we solved dating again, Jordana.
So proud of us. Another week, we did it again.
Well, the next episode will be a Sunday special, and then after that, we're back into the scheduling. We'll be
1 week
closer,
ahead.
right? 1 week ahead. So
I think we killed it.
We did it, as always. Big pats on the back to us. Have fun in London.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales-Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow @u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.